Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Chino's Comics and More. Again, my name is Chino. This is Manny.
What's up, YouTube? Guys, don't forget to click the subscribe button,
Hulk smash the like button,
Superman punch the notification bell.
and don't forget to share, guys. Alright, guys, so if you're watching this video, we do want to let you guys know ahead of time. Tune in to Bueller's live show on Friday. We are going to be happy to be on his show.
Yeah.
We have some big, exciting news we want to share with you guys, and you guys are going to be shocked.
Yeah, and we figured, guys, I mean, there's no better person to share this, news with, and Bueller's a real cool guy. So February 15th, guys, make sure you check out Bueller's show. We'll be there. It's going to be our second live show, so it might be interesting, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you ahead of time, and Bueller, if you're watching this, bro, we'll see you Friday.
See you Friday, man.
All right, guys. It looks like we're wearing the same shirt on 3 different videos. This is actually our third recording. We just decided to do everything at once. This is the one video that we teased, I think 2 videos back.
Yeah.
On the Punisher. We want to kind of talk about these books, and we also want to talk a little bit about the Punisher Season 2. Give it a little bit of a review.
Yeah, kind of give our thoughts and opinions on the actual show itself. How we felt about it, how what we're thinking about it. And then we want to tie in these books with that.
So, I can honestly say that Season 2 started off with a bang. Literally, with a bang. It had a lot of action. The Punisher, he got lucky. I think episode 1, walked into the bar, try to stick up for the bartender. You know how we do it, she repaid him, I guess that's the thing. You go into a bar, you stick up. I'll send Manny in there and harass a bartender, and then I'll end up going home with her.
Yeah, sure.
But basically, yeah. So on a serious note, the season started off really good, man. It started off with a lot of action. There's a few new characters on there. The dynamic of this season was a little bit different because now the Punisher kind of, when you meet up with them in this episode, he's kind of like, I don't know, me and Manny talked about it. He's kind of like he's at peace,
But it seems like it's like a fake peace.
Yeah, like he's just looking to like punch someone or pick a fight, basically.
Yeah, he looks like he's kind of like in between being kind of in a calm situation, but he's still looking for something to just kind of, become the Punisher or do what the Punisher does. So it starts off a little slow in the beginning, kind of builds him up, kind of lets you know that he's trying to, change his ways, whatever the case is. But like anything, it would have been kind of weird if it just did one episode and it finished there. So it would have been a pretty short season. But aside from that, right off the bat, by I think like the second episode it picks up. He meets Amy, and this is another character that's introduced. And I feel like that dynamic was more like a kind of like a Logan dynamic where, she's kind of like the more softer side, the more human side of the show itself. And, she kind of like brings him back down to reality in certain scenes and stuff like that.
Yeah, Amy, in the beginning, she's kind of annoying. To me, she was. Like, in the beginning, she's annoying. And then she kind of grows on you. Like, in the beginning, they kind of, she's playing kind of like dumb. She doesn't know why they're chasing her, being like kind of like, like spoiled brat.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like they did drag that a little bit. Like, you want to find out what's going on with her situation while they're chasing this girl, and she's in deep trouble. And they kind of dragged it a little bit. But then, once you kind of figure out what the situation is, the show takes off. It's nonstop action. The Punisher is out there being a one-man army in some episodes. I mean, he's Frank Castle, you know what I'm saying? That's who he is.
And what I like about this season is that apart from him, he's a marksman, he can shoot, he can kill you with a gun. He has some hands, man. Despite him being beat up throughout the whole season.
I don't like that part.
Well, yeah, we disagree with that. I think the Punisher, well, you know what, man, we can say something about Daredevil. Daredevil was always beat up.
Yeah, I mean, that's the part I didn't really like is that this guy's basically walking the whole season with his face beat up. And, I feel like this guy's the Punisher, man. He needs to go out there and, he needs to lay some hands out there.
He should be the one punishing people, not the other way around.
He stands out like a sore thumb when you got all these bruises in your face. But aside from that, going back to the actual show itself, kind of leading towards the next few characters that we want to talk about. When they introduced Jigsaw, which they really didn't even say Jigsaw until like maybe just one scene in the actual show, but when they introduce him, his storyline is pretty interesting. So there's actually two, I guess, villains you can say in this show, and they're both really interesting. I mean, the other guy that we can talk about is John Pilgrim. So we'll start with Jigsaw himself. When you meet him, when you kind of find out about him, he seems like he doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't remember anything. I mean, but Punisher kicked his butt so bad that dude, I don't even think he remembers what his name is.
Kind of like when I used to kick Manny's butt when he was younger.
Now, John Pilgrim, this guy's a pretty mysterious character, and for a good while of the season, you really don't know what his story is, and I like that about that because you really want to find out what's going on with this guy. Who is this guy? So he was a really cool addition to the show.
Yeah, he was great. I just think they kind of the only thing I can say about the season is that they kind of started with the storyline, then they mixed in the other storyline which is with Jigsaw, and then John Pilgrim, he doesn't come out for a few episodes. It's like, man, he's like lost. So I think that's the only thing that Netflix and Marvel need to fix. They need to fix that, kind of like, if you're gonna put multiple villains in there, then try to kind of keep them all involved or intertwined or somehow like relevant.
Yeah, I think like he said, there was a part where it focused mostly on John Pilgrim. Then like all of a sudden, like he just fell off the picture, and you don't really hear about him. And then you're focusing on Jigsaw, and it is what it is. I mean, I guess that's really one of the bigger complaints. But those two characters were really cool. Now Jigsaw himself, I think he stole the show.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it, man. The guy, he can act. I think here in this last season, he had a little bit of everything with him. He was broken, confused, vulnerable. Then little parts of him were coming back towards the end where he was kind of cocky, arrogant. Man, they just did a really good job. I think, man, they asked this guy to do everything, and he delivered. And he was my favorite character, to be honest with you. I think he was my favorite part of the season was his scenes, his interactions, just everything that he was doing throughout the whole arc.
Yeah,
I think he killed it, man.
Yeah, so he was a great addition to the actual show himself. So I think for a season 2, I think it was a really good send off. Other characters came out in the show itself, but the main characters that we can talk about, and it relates to these books, is the Punisher and Jigsaw. So going to the ending, towards the end, I mean, this is a spoiler, guys. At the end, it's like Frank Castle finally realizes who he is, who he needs to be, and if this is the way it's going to end, it's really a good way to end this show with him basically realizing that he's a Punisher, and that's who he is.
Yeah, I think they left a cool little ending at the end.
Yeah, so if I had to rate the show itself, I think season 1 is still better. I think season 2 is a pretty good show. I would say I give it a solid 8.5.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with you. I'll probably agree with you on this. I think it's a really good show. You can watch it on Netflix. Make sure you throw me some dividends.
Yeah,
right. Or something.
Okay, guys. Speaking of the Punisher, we have a few books out here, and what I did is I pulled out the first appearance of Punisher and the first appearance of Jigsaw. So, and it's kind of funny that Punisher and Jigsaw both came out in Amazing Spider-Man. So, it makes it even better for me because that's what I collect. So aside from that,
this guy just wanted to bring out Spider-Man books again.
Yeah, so we want to start off with Punisher's first appearance, which is Amazing Spider-Man 129. This book has been hot forever. It's always been an iconic book. The cover, I mean, I think even when we were young, we knew of this book.
Yeah, this is back in the 90s when we were watching the cartoon, we started inquiring more about this. I mean, this is a popular cover. The Punisher's always been a cool character. They haven't really done him justice in the movie world. I think the first movie was pretty good. But apart from that, this is a hot book. It's only gotten hotter with John Bernthal. He did a hell of a job as a Punisher.
Yeah.
it's an expensive book too, guys. So I mean, it's getting out of hand.
Yeah, out of all these 4 books, that's gonna be the more expensive book, but it's really the book that you want to own. Now, from there we go to the second appearance, which is Amazing Spider-Man 135. That's the second appearance of the Punisher. Again, I'm a big fan of, or even I just think that if you can't buy into the first one for whatever reason, or you just want to, buy into the Punisher or a certain character, the second appearance is always a good way to start. Now, this book here is going to be a lot more affordable, a lot more attainable. So it's another book that you can pick up if 129 is, maybe a little bit too far out of reach at the moment. Now, my opinion is that since the show is going to probably go on hiatus, that book might drop in value, Amazing Spider-Man 129, but who knows? I mean, this thing could, it's all over the place. And then from there, the third book I have is Amazing Spider-Man 162, which is Jigsaw's first appearance. And again, that book got hot.
Yeah, it did. I mean, when he came out in the first season, I don't think a lot of people kind of understood the character or what he was going to kind of evolve into.
Yeah.
So it jumped up a little bit. And again, it's a cool book. I mean, he's not coming out again in another season, but he left a good impression. And I think, they do something again in the movie world and they bring out this character. He's going to be, a lot of people don't follow comic books and stuff like that. He's going to be a character that people are going to know.
Yeah. So again, that's a book that got hot for a minute when the show came out, season 2. It should be dropping down in value now, I would imagine. And then from there, the next book we have is Amazing Spider-Man 188. And that's a really cool cover, but that's actually Jigsaw's second appearance. And what I did here, guys, and what I do is I usually label my books so I can know, what I'm looking at. Because, you have so many books sometimes, it's hard to keep up with who's first appearance, who's second appearance, who's whatever. So this makes it easier for me.
Yeah, and this is going to lead on to probably another video that we're going to do about kind of the essential tools you need as far as collecting and organizing your comic books.
These are the 4 books that I pulled out. First appearance, second appearance, first appearance, second appearance. I would recommend buy them. Hold off on these books maybe for a little bit. But once they actually start, if you start looking at the price and they kind of dip a little bit, there's a certain threshold for Amazing Spider-Man 129. I don't think it's ever going to drop down to, let's say, $10 because it's just an iconic book.
Unless the market falls.
Yeah, but I think it's just a character that holds his value because he's a Punisher. Yeah. Even when we were young, he was a pretty cool character. He was a pretty hot character. And we've gotten a little bit older now, and he's still a pretty hot character. These other 3 books, they're easier to pick up. They're going to be more affordable. If you see them kind of spiked up a little bit, just hold off. You can buy them later on. Yeah,
you can. And I think just to kind of end this segment is, pick up these books. If you're collecting these books and you're into big key collecting first appearances, these are good affordable books. Apart from the 129, but again, this is a good book to own. And again, man, I mean, watch the show, man. Watch the show. It's good. We want to hear about it. Give us your opinion on what you thought of the show.
Yeah.
Give us a grade or tell us, what you didn't like. Tell us that, you can agree with me. Amy was annoying as hell during the first part of the season.
Yeah.
If she wasn't annoying, then tell me, hey, dude, you're wrong. She wasn't annoying. She was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
But that's it, man. That's all we have.
Aside from that, guys, we're out.
We're out.